Brother. All right, we all know Brother P-Touch. Brother P-Touch has been around since Methuselah. In fact, I think Methuselah knew Brother back then. So as you know, Brother makes sewing machines. Brother makes home office, scanners and printers and karaoke machines, believe it or not. Brother Industrial Solutions came about, I want to say 11 or 12 years ago. I personally have been with Brother for 8 years, actually going on 9 years now. I was actually with a Brother's competitor prior to that. Going to the Brother Industrial side of the fence, we've redesigned the product. The Brother Industrial team right now, it spans nationally. We're actually doing a little bit in Canada. So the product line is growing dramatically. There have been those lines out there that have enjoyed some major success throughout the years based upon their name brand. And obviously, Brother brings that name brand to the table, but also some very, very innovative products. You want it to be a one and done. You want to go in, you want to label it correctly with the correct identification, and you don't want to go back to replace a label that's fallen off. You can actually make money labeling. I know, mind-blowing. All right. Most of the folks out there don't realize how much labeling is costing them, not only from the labor standpoint, but not factoring in the mistakes and, labels coming off and stuff like that. We are now making a big push into the security side of the fence. Obviously, security is now falling in line with low voltage. And so, we're going back to patch panels and we're going to servers and they're running over Cat 6 and not like the old days where everything was over twin-ax and coax. And so things have definitely changed. Everything's going on IP and all that needs to be labeled. So datacom, electrical, on the electrical side, how many can go out to your house right now? I know I can. Open up your panel, your electrical panel, and everything's in Sharpie. So we're making a big push as far as on the electrical side for panels, panel schedules, the wiring, you name it. Right? Nobody thinks pro audio video, but again, pro audio video is part of these systems, is part of the network in a lot of cases. Those wires, the cables, they all need to be labeled. So again, you got another industry where it's demanding a lot of labeling, and again, that's what Brother brings to the table. And down the road, we'll go into the specifics of each particular industry. And what the labeling demands are, what people are currently doing, and what they should be doing. There's a big play in manufacturing right now for labeling. Same thing with warehousing. Bin locations, shipping, handling, you name it. Data centers. All right, data centers can fall underneath any one of these different categories. Because you've got datacom in there, you've got electrical in there, you've got shipping and handling. Asset management, that's the other thing that I'm preaching weekly. Well, I used to preach weekly out in the field. QR coding, there's a segment on that as far as the barcoding. So going back to what I said initially, you can still go to the big office stores. You can buy a $29 Brother printer, $39 printer, whatever it is. You can buy tape at the store. But the thing is, it's not product centric. What we deal with are things like the ability to do cable wraps. Push a button to do a cable wrap. Push a button to do a patch panel. Push a button to do a flag. All right. Those particular printers that you can find in the big office stores are geared toward the consumer side of the fence, the stay-at-home folks. Files and folders and whatnot. So. We'll talk a little bit more down the road about how our printers operate out in the field. Is it the same tape? Well, the big office stores offers versus our distribution partners. The stuff you can buy in the office stores, yes. All right. Is it laminated? Yes. Is it going to cost you twice as much as versus going through our distribution partners? Yeah, I'm going to stand up behind me. What you're seeing behind me is, I'd say 80% of our products right now. I'm missing our PT-E500, but we'll talk about that later. All right, this is our PT-E110. Instead of going to Staples to buy one of those inexpensive $29 printers, this is actually very product specific here. And it's tough to see the buttons, I understand that, but things like a cable wrap and a cable flag and a faceplate, right? This is a great tool bag printer, Johnny on the spot printer. Right? Comes with a 2-year exchange warranty also, which means that if this thing breaks down during the first 2 years, brother will place it. Not too many else out there that's going to do that for you, as far as my competition is concerned. So something like this, under 60 bucks, comes in a hard case kit, right? And I'm not going to go through the pricing. I can give you an MSRP, but check with your local distribution partner out there, right? They're carrying these as well. So a very simplistic printer, handheld printer, goes up to 1/2 inch, if you will. Again, comes in a hard case kit. And that's our starter printer. Again, great for a tool bag or Johnny on the spot. The PT-E300. Okay. So the PT-E300 now will accept up to 3/4 inch tape. All right. 18 millimeter tape exactly is the way that we market the tape. But it's essentially 3/4 inch. And as you can see, much larger screen. Both of them have the QWERTY keyboards. But now you can start doing heat shrink with this, right? The heat shrink comes in a cassette, and we'll talk about that at a later date. You can see behind me, I have a wide array of tapes that we'll talk about. Comes in a hard case kit. Now you get a lithium-ion battery. On this one, it's 6 AAAs, if you will. So yes, it's a Johnny on the spot, but again, we talked about earlier how I'm going to help you make some money out there. And one of the things you want to consider is throwing away AAA batteries is really not making money. But now we get into a lithium-ion battery with a hard case kit. Much easier to see for us blind folks, older folks, if you will. We also have an option without a hard case kit. We just introduced it. And the reason why we introduced it is there is a competitor out there that is offering a printer for $99.99. What a fantastic deal $99.99 is. But they missed a few points, like giving it a QWERTY keyboard. Again, some of us older folks on the phone remember the flip phones, the Motorola Razors. In fact, I found a few the other day. Remember texting on an ABC keyboard? It's not fun. It's very time consuming, right? So what we did is QWERTY keyboard. We're all used to QWERTY keyboards, just like my keyboard here, right? So again, the one without the case, the PT-E300M, is very competitive against that one I was talking about for $99.99. If not, it comes in a hard case kit, lithium-ion battery, AC adapter. And again, you have very specific functions on here. You can do cable wraps, patch panels, barcoding, if you will, faceplates. So again, that's our PT-E300. Our flagship, now I'm missing the PT-E500. We'll talk about that later. This is our flagship. This is the PT-E550W. I know it's very hard to see later on down the series. I will introduce a simulator. Be careful how you say that. The simulator I can actually put on the screen and I can show you how to use that as far as all the different keys and the functions. You get into 24 millimeter or 1 inch capabilities. It is a Wi-Fi unit. It's got nothing to do with the internet. Keep that in mind. It has the ability to connect to a smart device, iOS or Android, so that way you can dump Excel spreadsheets into this databases. Mind-blowing. We all remember sitting in front of patch panels, or even to this day, and doing everything by hand, A01, space, 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 right? Or printing them off ahead of time and having to transport those from point A to point B, and who knows what happens between point A and point B. So the ability to download a database of several thousand labels into this and then utilize the white buttons to manipulate that data while out in the field and fix errors on the fly, oh, I'm telling you, it's fantastic. All right, so this is a PT-E550. We'll talk about our collaboration with Fluke. We do have a collaboration with Fluke and their Linkware Live. So we'll talk about that later on in the series. Comes in a hard case kit, lithium-ion battery, and again, up to 1-inch tapes. We have our desktop units. Desktop units are great for data centers, great for manufacturing, great for warehouses. This will also do everything essentially that this guy will do here. Now we get up into 1.5-inch tape or 36 millimeter. So we can go into a wider tape format, if you will. By the way, and this may be a quiz down the line, and we're thinking about doing certain things, but every Brother tape except for heat shrink has got a marathon of tape on it, 26.2 feet of tape on it. So now you get up into 36 millimeter or 1.5 inches. This one can connect directly to the PC. You can print from the PC, or you can actually print from your phone. All right, and we'll get into that as well. It's very, very interesting how this whole labeling technology is come this far to where if it's easier for you to do the work here on your phone and just hit print on the phone and it comes out of the actual printer itself, again, mind-blowing. We'll talk about that a little more. Part of our desktop line, which I'm actually really excited about, is our PT-E550W. The PT-E550W incorporates kind of the same technology, if not, it's basically the same engine as our PTP series. This is the PT-E550W networkable printer. But look at this. It's the first ever portable desktop printer. I know some of our competitors have these desktop printers that have to stay plugged into a PC. You have to print from the PC, and it's really not mobile. But the ability to have this, store your tapes inside here, all right? Here's your engine. But it is the first ever removable, fully functioning keyboard, QWERTY keyboard. If you want to move from point A to point B, lock this into place, move this over to point B, don't even take the keyboard off, and away you go. When everything's all said and done, and you're done for the evening, lock this thing in place, like so, and you're back up here. If you have any questions whatsoever, obviously you got my contact information here, San Diego area, Jamie Brookover, again from the major account, Mr. Dan Cobb from the MRO side, Mr. Bruce Page out on the East Coast, and Mr. Rob Dawkins, manufacturing, warehousing, that is his specialty.